guys, Jenny here, and we are back. It's been a long time, but we're here with the sideshow premium format statue review of Elektra. That's right. So, pretty much what we're gonna be doing here is going through a category and giving each category a grade, and then telling you what the overall outcome is. Um, it's something I haven't seen in the community really for statue reviews or figure reviews or whatever. So I wanted to, implement this and see how it works out and, go from there. Because at the end of the day, I want to go through everything, the whole category, and let you know if, the statue, the figure is worth all the money that you put into it. Because, stuff is not cheap and, they do put a lot of work into it sometimes. So I'm gonna just let you know exactly how much work they put into it. There's 5 different categories. We got advanced, professional, veteran, expert, and master. And you can look at those as 1 on a scale of like 1 to 5, basically 1 being advanced and 5 being master. So at the end, we're gonna do the equation to figure out what exactly the overall score is for the statue. So we're going to start out with the portrait. So I'm going to leave that right there for you guys for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and rotate around while I look at it as well. Even though I have everything already graded and everything, so I'm going to just try to make these as quick as possible because I got a lot to get through here. And I got more figures to do. Starting out with the portrait, we got the first question is her likeness. Does this portrait give the likeness of Elektra from the comic books? I would say yes. I mean, at the same time, I don't think she always has like the absolute facial look for the most part. Because every artist has their own interpretation. So it is gonna, vary from, comic issue to issue. But at the end of the day, I think you will know, who this character is, right? Which is the second question. Can you tell who the character is off the portrait alone? Yes. With her hair, all the red and the bandana, yeah, that's a dead giveaway. Not too many characters have that look. There's a few questions for each category as well. The third question, eyes painted or printed, and the quality of it. Now, these eyes are printed. It's okay quality. It's not, the greatest or anything like that. The eyeball itself. The eyelashes are sculpted, which is really good. I would like to see more sculpt with the eyebrows, to just give it that more depth. But the eyebrows are okay; they're painted on. And then the face structure. Is the face structure properly? Does it look weird? Does it look like it helps represent the character, her, nationality, whatever you want to say? I would say yes. It does look very good. I mean, it's, perfectly natural, looks, human, doesn't look, like a man or anything like that, looks really feminine. So I would say they did a good job. So the overall score for the portrait, I would say is veteran, right? So you got advanced, professional, veteran, expert, and master. So this, if you want to look at it, numbers, 3s. We don't really go off numbers, only use numbers just so I can do the equation and get to the overall score. So you guys can use numbers if you want to, but I like, going into, what the numbers actually mean. All right, so second, we got clothes, outfit, costume, right? First question is source material accurate? I would say yes, right? So, all the distinguishing features, the bandana, the red dress, belt, her, cloth belt that's right here. Not really sure what we call it. The gloves, the way she got the cloth wrapped around her legs as well, and the boots. They all accurately help bring, the character to life, and let you know who the character is, right? With the distinguishing features, all of it being in red, the bandana, that alone helps bring the character to let you know who the character is. Especially the way it's designed like this, and then you got the underwear. These third question, unique design. Is it like unique or is it 100% comic accuracy? This is a much more unique design than the comics for the most part. The comics is more just a normal dress. Where you got it's very tactical and modern, and it's something that I definitely appreciate, and which mostly everything is gone nowadays. You see in movies a lot, in video games for the most part. The outfits and TV shows for that matter. The outfit, it has a more tactical look. It's not just cloth and underwear. Without it being any cutting edge design as far as the outfit goes. It was very standard. Comic book artwork was much more simpler back in the day. There wasn't things to break up the outfit too much. It was just a solid color. So they did a great job breaking this up, especially transitioning to a statue. You want it to be more busy, so that way your eyes isn't just looking at something so flat. The additional feature designs, do they far better than the original in this medium? That's what I was pretty much just saying. I'll say yes. Definitely for the eye factor, right? You want to keep your eyes busy and looking all over the place. Having something to look at. So that way you're seeing things that you might not have caught before, and it's just good to look at. I mean, I like this better than the original. It makes more sense. She's in battle. You want tactical gear, regardless if you're a badass or not. It just helps. Looks cool. That's for damn sure. And it'll let you know, she's about business. Yeah, and do you like the costume more than the original was the last question. So yes. So the score for that, I would give master level. All right. So the next category is body. Does body actually represent the character? I'll say yes. This very feminine. It's perfect. I don't see anything that would differentiate from what the character is known for. Sexy. You got muscle there. It's very light, but in the back, you can see it's very detailed. The assassin, you gotta have some muscle there. And does the body have good composition? I would say yes. Very good composition. It's very elegant. At the same time, you can see that it's deadly. And with the switch out, what I'll get into more, the composition changes a little bit. So I would say it does a great job. So the body also has a score of master. And the next category will be pose. Is it a museum pose or action dynamic pose, right? So it's not a museum pose, which is good. It's pretty dynamic, not really action based, but it's either you can look at it as right before action or right after action. She just killed a few, whoever, and now she's going after maybe somebody else, and she's walking along the ledge here. So I would say they did a great job with the pose. Right? The second question, does the pose identify the character? I would say yes, because it does look very elegant, kind of like the ballerina. You could tell she has great balance being on the ledge here. I don't know, just like the way it flows is really well. With either swap out arm, by the way, as well. I wouldn't want to mess with it, that's for sure. Is it a signature pose? I mean, yes and no. It's not. It's just a walk for the most part, but it does encapsulate the way she moves. Right, it flows very well, especially if you read some of the comic books where she where the art is fantastic. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see how elegant she is. Is it a strong pose? I would say it's a very strong pose. Pretty much everything I said before. Um, yeah, she does look dangerous, especially with the weapons in her hands. Um, Very well balanced. And I've displayed both weapons, the scythe and the sword, just to give you both different options here. The last question that does it expose the character's best features. I would say yes. This does display and expose her best features, which is pretty much everything, right? You're not gonna have something hitting away because of the way it's posed or anything like that. So they did a great job. So for pose, the score will be master, right? So moving on to scope. Would I like this statue before it was painted? The answer is yes. I mean, just by the way it flows in composition and everything, and the detail, I could tell that I would love this statue, even before it was colored. Does the scope look difficult to create? Yes, for the most part. All the little details, because it was tactical. If it wasn't tactical, then it'll be less detail that they would have to implement. So, great choice of giving yourself more to do sculpting this by uh, you know going with the more tactical option. If the artist chose for the tactical, or the sculptor chose, or the concept artist. Could more scope be done? I would say yes. Doesn't really need to be, but more scope could be done if for the details to stick out that much more in the tactical gear. But it'd be very hard to know what should be sculpted more, and what could be done. But they did a good job overall. For sculpt, I gave it an expert. So now moving on to detail. Is there a lot of detail? Yes, there is a lot of detail. Detail in the scope. The clothes, you can see everywhere. You got all these little details and lines and just everything. This throughout the gear helps bring it to life, makes it look more realistic. Her hair flows, all the details throughout her hair. You can see damn near every strand, which just it looks great. It's a lot, not a ton, but it's enough. Is there detail in the parts that needed to most? Yes, I would say that, which is the gear, right? That would need the most detail to help break up the statue, break up all that red. Does the detail add to the statue? Yes, it does. Is there detail in the parts that probably won't be on display? Yes, there's detail everywhere. Like, not one place I don't see that there's no detail. For detail, I give it an expert. Alright, so moving on to style. Is the artist's signature touch a part of the style? I would say yes. Right, if you look at some of the other statues that this artist did, you'll be able to tell for the most part, who this artist was. It's not like super sticking out to where it's like instantly distinguishable, but for the most part, yes, you can tell. Can you tell the artist based on the statue? I would say that part, no, not so much. Mainly because, it's very hard to do that. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Does the statue help bring the character to life? Yes, it does. Is the concept interesting? Yes, I love this concept. Because, for the simple fact that it looks like she could either be going into battle, she's in the middle of battle, or she just finished in the battle. Especially with the, and then with that extra swap out option, it helps add more to the style. So the style also gets an expert. Alright, so moving on to paint job. Does it pop? Is there bleeding? Yes, it does pop. All that red, of course it pops. Is there bleeding? There is a little bleeding. Very hard to escape though. So they did a good job. It's not nothing that should bother you. At least on mine, so they don't really care too much. I don't have an issue with it. Are there multiple tones? Yes, there is. There are multiple red tones. Otherwise, it'll be still harder to see, right? Like that is a different red than the red in the middle. Then you got this even darker red right here on the side, all broken up, which adds to the flow of the statue overall for your eyes. And it's still the red that on the dress, still matches with the red on the boots, just like the other parts, like on the side, right here, matches with up there, and the same on the arms. So, great job with the color. Is it easy on the eyes? Yes. Shading, appropriate enough. Is there enough shading throughout this statue? Yes, there is. I say it's probably the perfect amount of shading. It is enough. Do the colors accurately represent the character and base? Yes, the colors do represent the base and the character. And the colors is not really representing style too much. So it's not like they went with a completely different variant color option. You know, they stayed with the source material, which is fine. So for paint job expert, moving on to texture. So we're at number 9. We got 24 to go through total. Can you feel the textures? Yes, there are parts where you can feel the textures. Like right here, you could tell it's super smooth, and right here it gets a little bumpy. It could be a little bit more textured, but it's fine. I mean, you know the difference. And the same with her arm right here. You can tell that's a different. And her hair is very textured, so great job. Even with the base, I mean, there's different textures right there. So, does it differentiate from other textures visually and physically? Yes. As I said before, with these different parts here, the texture helps break it up visually and physically. So, great job. Does the texture best represent the material on the character, base, or effects? It doesn't have any effects, but the texture does represent the material on her clothes, on her hair, and with the base. So for texture, they got a veteran. So moving on to material. Was it made out of the best material for this piece? I would say yeah. Is the material worth the cost? Yes. So for material, I gave it a veteran. Alright, so moving on to mixed media. Is the mixed media used properly and appropriately? Yes, because it doesn't have any. I think if this piece would have had mixed media, it probably might have taken away. I don't know how they would have been able to do some of this. Then this would have been loose. It wouldn't have been, as cool in my opinion. So good job not adding mixed media. Does it benefit the statue? This benefits the statue of not having mixed media. If they would have gave it mixed media, it probably wouldn't have benefited the statue. But this is, it's not flexible, which is the last question. Is it flexible? That's more for mixed media. So mixed media, I gave it a veteran. At the end they kind of got to put it somewhere in the middle. Articulation is the next one. That's for figures only, so skip that. So we're at number 13. Base. Does the base tie in with the statue? Yes. I mean, you do see her on top of buildings a lot. We got some gargoyles here, so kind of gives that representation of a New Yorkish type of vibe. Hell's Kitchen. So good job there. Is it a part of the character's normal settings? Yes, she's, like I said, she's on rooftops a lot, jumping around. With her and Daredevil fighting ninjas. Is the base iconic? I would say it. Yes and no. Just iconic in the sense of yes, she's on rooftops a lot, and this is in a church setting. But as far as I know, maybe it's like way more iconic. But as far as I know, it's not like this super iconic location. Is it instantly distinguishable? I mean, I would say like if I seen this base by itself, I would say probably like, Daredevil or Batman or Elektra or somewhere along those lines. It will go with one of those characters. So it's kind of like a yes or no. So for base, I give it a veteran. All right, so accessories. Any poster or certificate. So no, this one did not come with any poster or certificate, like what some companies do. Any items that can go with the statue available, which is like proximity features or anything like that. No. Something you can just put on the side or whatever, or in the hair or whatever. No, we don't have any of those. Instruction manual. No. Batteries if needed, or any sort of plug-in. Nope, don't have none of that. Not needed. Did they pick the best method for power? Again, doesn't have a need for power. So for accessories, it has advanced. Um, I say we could have gotten a poster or even a certificate, right? Or even something that goes with the accessory. Maybe a ninja's head is on the ground or something. They could have added something, um, or even who knows? There could have been even lights on the base for whatever reason. Just being creative and thinking of something to add. Give us our money's worth pretty much. Moving on to swap outs, right? So I've been looking at that long enough. So I will switch this. That real quick. Alright, do the parts add anything to the statue? Yes. Does it change how the statue is represented? Yes, it does. Let me switch that since that's been viewed a lot. Gotta give you a full rotation. Right? Does it change how the statue is represented? Yes, I say this pose does change how it's represented. How many parts are there? So, there's pretty much just 4, right? So you got the arm, the hand. There's kind of more than 4. Yeah. So the arm, hand, other hand. There's 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different parts that you can switch in between. I would say it would have been cool if we had an extra face option, maybe given a different expression, maybe angry, who knows. Would you display the entire set of portraits at once if possible? Which basically means like if there was additional portraits and you could display them as they had a stand that came with it, or you made it, would you also display those because they're cool enough? We don't have those, so no. I can't. Would you? Okay. Any swaps or passes? No. I like the katanas are my favorite, so I just display those the most. But lately, so far, I've had how it was at the start with one katana and one side. But I would go back and forth between both weapons for sure. So the swap outs, that gets a veteran. Alright, so moving on to assembly. Is the assembly simple and easy or difficult? I would say it is pretty easy. Does it take a while? No, it's pretty fast. As you've seen how fast I just swapped out between all those parts. The assembling it here was pretty easy as well into the base. Do the parts fit in all the way or correctly at all? Yes, they fit in all the way. I had no issues assembling any parts of any part that's swappable or just the character into the base. Are the parts seamlessly blended into the statue base? Yes, they did a good job and a creative job picking which parts they should use to be swappable and to assemble it. So yes, great right there. You can't tell, if both feet go into the base, or if it's just one, or if it's the base is part of the boots, and then the rest of the figure, her legs attaches to the base. So yes, great job there. The hands, you can't tell. The arm, for the most part, you can't tell. You can see a little line there on mine, but it's not going to ruin anything. It's practically seamless. So they do a great job there. So for assembly, I give it an expert. All right. So moving on to special features. Are there lighting features? No. Sound system? No. Is the lighting customizable? No, it doesn't have any. Do the features enhance the statue, or does it feel like a gimmick? That doesn't have any. Does it have its own turntable? No, I'm using one. Are these features needed? No, but maybe some of them would have been cool. Um, so for special features, advanced. So moving on to packaging. Is the packaging high quality or cheap? I would say it's pretty good, right? Does it protect all the parts? My parts were protected. Besides, right here, I did have a broken piece that I never even seen. Otherwise, I would just super glue it. So the packaging could have been better. I don't know where that got damaged at, but it doesn't seem like it was in packaging since I did not see the piece for me to be able to super glue back together. No instructions. Is it taped together or strapped or something else? The packaging was taped together. Always prefer straps to just you know, more quality. Giving us all the money's worth. We put the money into not just the statue but also the packaging. And the tape, I mean, you got to go out and buy more if you're going to repackage this up together. But with the straps there, you get to keep those forever. Is there engraving on the foam? Yes, there is engraving, just of Sideshow, not of Elektra or anything like that. So packaging, that got a veteran. All right, so presentation. Would you proudly display the statue? Of course I would. Yes, absolutely. Does the statue steal the spotlight? It could, depending on your collection. But it is very elegant, and I would assume that anyone would definitely be drawn towards this one at some point if they were looking at your entire collection, or if you had just other stuff in your room and this was on display, they would definitely check this out. Do you have to be careful where you display it to protect it? I would say yes, because of this pose specifically, and the fact that these weapons are sharp and pointy. So I would say yeah, you want to not put this out so much to where people can bump into it, or somebody gets poked in the eye or whatever. So you will have to be careful where you place this. For presentation, it has an expert. So moving on to scale. Is it too big? No. Does it leave room in the way it was designed? Yes. The base is very narrow. There's a wide open space right there. You can place another statue right here. Maybe even Daredevil if you got the companion piece or something else. And there's a lot of room right here. So it's just pretty narrow. So yes, there's a lot of room. Does the size help with the sculpt and allow for the appropriate amount of detail to be added, if possible? Yes. At the same time, I think if it was bigger, that would leave more room for even more detail to be added. At the same time, I think more detail could have been added on this statue. For scale, it has a veteran. Viewing angle. Is it best viewed from any angle? I mean, there's quite a few views that is best viewed. Do you have to place it in a certain way in order to get a certain look? No, I think any angle you look at this pose, I mean, you know what kind of look it's, you know what she's doing. And I think you probably should be worried because she's about to kill you. Are there multiple viewing angles? Yes, there's quite a few viewing angles. A lot of places you can place this, not with this pose, but that's also why there's more viewing angles, because you can use the other arm and or even other weapon, and then that could change up how you view this. Also, the height and bottom. I mean, I love looking at this from every angle. So, standing up, way above it, still looks good. I would say if you wanted this in its best, how it was represented, probably either a direct view or if you're looking up at it some, because it is supposed to be on the rooftop. Viewing angle, master. There's a lot of ways to view this. Embodiment is the next category. Does it capture the character and what they represent? Absolutely. It captures the character tenfold. So embodiment is master. The condition, which condition it came in, are there any broken parts? Yes, I got that broken part right there. Scratches. I think there were, some scratches here and there, just like very small, some that you can't really see. So for condition expert, the next category, companion. Was it made to go along with another piece? Yes, it was. Daredevil, which I missed out on. I wanted that piece. Maybe someday I'll be able to get it somehow in the future. But I don't even know how it sold out that fast. I didn't know people was going to be all up on Daredevil like that. I mean, I thought they was going to be on her like that. So, yes, it has a companion. Will the statue mix well with others? Yes, I think this statue is going to fit well with a lot of others. A lot of the other Marvel characters and even X-Men characters, this will line up perfectly with. You got Punisher as well. She'll go along with him as well. Do the statues connect? No, but her and Daredevil's is pretty dang close. So, I mean, you can do a good job with lining those up together to make it look like they partially connect. So for companion piece, give it an expert. Alright, so now the last category, value. Out of everything listed above, is the statue worth its retail price? I would say yes. I don't regret spending a dime on this piece here. Would you buy it for more on the aftermarket? Yes, I would spend a little bit more money on this if I was late to get this one. Partially, I mean, just pretty much everything I went over before is the reason why. Elektra is a badass character as well. And I just like, if I can get a statue with some katana, especially dual wield, that's just a bonus for me. Would you sell it, return it? No, I'm keeping this. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to have to sell it. And I didn't need to return it. I don't want to just keep it for a little while, then, give it back to somebody. I'm not returning it immediately after opening it. So for the value, which I would give an expert. All right, so out of everything that was added up, what it comes out to, the overall score for this piece is veteran. I think it did a great job in a lot of parts. Some parts could be a little better. Of course, that's pretty much mostly every statue. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can move on to the next one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below. And I'll see you guys next time with more statues. I got a lot more on the way, so be on the lookout. I don't even know which one is going to be first, so I'm not going to say which ones. But be on the lookout for my other statues from Sideshow and from other places as well. So peace.